Well, good morning. I, I can't hear you for crying out loud. Turn your microphone on.
Boom, boom.
Boop, boop.
You can hear me now.
Yeah, you're a little mute.
How's that?
Yeah, that's better.
Is that better?
That's better. How are you doing today, good sir?
Good. How you doing?
I'm fantastic. Thank you for asking.
How's life down in St. Paul?
It's busy. The street is busy. Life is busy. School is busy. Work is busy. Everything is busy.
Well, you know what? I'm recording this, so let me get this set up. While I got you on here, I know it's a question and answer, and we'll have other people come on, but I might as well just do a show while I have you.
Okay. All right. Let me grab some material
Okay.
so I have something handy.
Get my audio set up so we can do it.
Because I know you're going to ask me questions, and I know I'm not going to have the answers to them.
Well, we're going to try. I'm going to try to ask you some questions. I don't know. What are you thinking about you wanting to talk about?
I don't know. I don't know. We can talk about anything you'd like to talk about. State of the Union. Oh, God.
That's a bad one right now.
That was a bad one. It's a good one, but it's a bad one. I should probably shut my window, too, so I don't get a lot of traffic noise.
Yeah, I got a guy, there's a band that practices up here in the studio down the hall. So I've had a guy up here pounding on his drums, so you might hear that from time to time.
All right, let me just shut this window really quick.
Mm-hmm.
As I rip the foam off my wall again.
This is Aaron, by the way, JR, and his little...
Where's that in Minneapolis?
It's in St. Paul.
Nice. Does he podcast?
Yeah. Yeah, he does his own little stuff. And that couch back there, that's where I sleep. That futon, when I go down there to visit him, I pull that out. And...
What does he podcast on?
Which one do you podcast from, or which one do you talk through a lot? It's Discord, right?
Discord, and they're very upset that you have chosen not to.
They want me back?
They want you on their platform. They'd like you to broadcast on their platform at some point.
Well, I can do that. They're really wanting me to come on their platform and broadcast. Okay. Cool. Yeah, we'll talk about it. Yeah, I can do that. I've been so busy doing this, but yeah, if they want me to come back on there, if it's upsetting them that I'm not there. I like feeling the desire of being wanted.
Yeah, I know. Isn't that nice to be wanted at some point in your life?
That is nice. That is nice. All right, so let me get the audio set up here. Just 1 second.
Sure. Mom's coming to visit.
Well, really? When is she coming?
She's coming down on Tuesday and spending the night to go to the doctor's on Wednesday.
Yeah, eventually here soon, I plan on coming down again to see you for a weekend. Probably sometime maybe this month or early October. I'll figure out if you're home.
That would be wonderful.
Yes, it would be.
Yes.
All right, so, well, hello out there in Podcast Nation. This is the Recovery Atheist, and I'm coming to you right now from Zoom. This is the questions and answer thing I was having today. We'll see if anybody else shows up. But while I was here, I've got a good friend of mine, Aaron, who is on. And what is your name? What is your title name? Your what do you go by again?
I go by SuperTramp on the internet. SuperTramp
on the internet. So I decided that we would go ahead and have a little discussion about a few things and see if anybody else comes on during this, but I might as well make use of the time that I'm doing this. So how's things been going on with you, SuperTramp?
Very busy. Very busy. Work is busy. School is busy.
How's the funeral home? How's the funeral home?
We've had funeral after funeral after funeral. Some days we've had 2 to 3 funerals in a row. It's been ridiculous.
So people are just dying left and right
People
then, or what?
it's an upswing right now. We're seeing an
Hmm.
upswing in our funeral home. I'm not sure if it's an upswing in. I haven't talked to the casket delivery guy lately because he's the guy
Mhm.
to talk to. If you want to know how the business is going, you talk to the guy that delivers the caskets. He's the guy
Right.
that's in the
Well,
know because he's delivering to all the funeral homes. So he knows the industry very well. So he's the man you talk to about such things. And I haven't been able to speak to him. So
what percentage of it has been COVID?
in our funeral home, we haven't had a COVID case lately for our funeral home.
How many have
But
you had so far?
we've had, I'd say 5 or 6,
5 or 6.
five or
Okay.
six cases
Okay.
since COVID
Interesting.
hit for our funeral home. But we have a gentleman that works through our funeral home. He's a private. He owns his own funeral business.
Right.
He only does like embalmings. He's called a trade embalmer,
Hmm.
and he just uses our prep room, and he gets cases, and he does COVID cases almost every other day.
Wow. How many of those, though, do you think it really is COVID, or that there's other conditions, other issues with it? Because my doctor that I have here in town, they've not had one COVID that's come through their facility that they've had to deal with. And a
Mm-hmm.
lot of rumors about it right now is that a lot of the COVID cases that they're ramping up the death amounts when really they died from other issues, but they found that they were also infected with COVID.
Right.
So it's like it's kind of the numbers are kind of strewn that way to where we don't really know how authentic the numbers they're throwing out at us is.
Right. You will see COVID as on the death certificate, but you will also see pneumonia. You will also see fractures, like
Mm-hmm.
hip fractures, femur
Mm-hmm.
fractures, things like that that have been causes of death. With COVID as also on there.
But it doesn't mean they necessarily died
Doesn't
from
mean
the
they
COVID.
necessarily died from COVID. It means that they had
But it's
COVID.
but being that it's on the death certificate, then the government can sit there and use that as to put toward the official numbers.
It's all about money. The whole thing is all about
Exactly.
money.
Mm-hmm.
We built. I'd have to look at the number, but it's in the millions. We built a holding facility for bodies infected with COVID that hasn't been touched or used yet. The governor signed off on it. That hasn't been in
Walls
use.
Walls signed off on that. What are they going to do
Yeah,
with it after all of
it's
this
all
is
about
done? I
it's
mean,
all about money, man.
I know. It is all about the almighty dollar. So much power in that. It just drives people, money does. And we actually talked about it this morning in our podcast. I was talking about Mormonism. We were just talking about the money
Oh,
that's, it was you got to check it out. It was a good podcast. But we're talking about money and how, the Scientology, they make 1.5 billion is what they're
mhm.
worth. Mormonism is second. And then you got Catholicism in third. And how much money and the power behind money and religion and everything like that. I mean, money is what fuels so much stuff.
Fuels
Um,
everything, buddy.
but anyway, so the last time we talked, we were doing a podcast and I was having you talk about your faith and what you believe in. And I was not able to get that taken care of. I was not able to pull the audio correctly and get it done. So why don't we touch for about 10 minutes or so on that, what your beliefs are. Obviously, I'm the recovery atheist, so I don't have any beliefs in a God or a faith that way. I do believe in meditation and spirituality, but I don't have a certain dogma, doctrine, a certain protocol of what I do to practice faith. So how does it work for you? I know you're a Buddhist, correct?
Correct. I have follow a form of Buddhism. SGI, which stands for Soka Gakkai International. It's an international Nichiren Buddhist movement that was founded in 1975 by Daisaku Ikeda. It has approximately 12 million followers in 192 countries and territories as of 2017. More than 1.5 million of whom reside outside of Japan as of 2012. That's just some facts I quickly pulled up on Google for you.
Yeah, when you said you were going to get some stuff together, I had a feeling that that's what you were doing, because last time we kind of weren't as prepared for it as what
I
we'd
wasn't
like.
quite
So
as
this
prepared.
time,
This time I got
right, this time we got stats. We got those stats.
Got those stats for you. So I follow this form of Buddhism. It's been around for a little while. It's kind of newer. It's Buddhism kind of started out in its early teachings, so we follow the latter teachings of Buddhism. The Lotus Sutra is the latter teachings of the Buddha, and that's the teachings that we follow. And basically it says everybody's a Buddha, so teach everybody with respect and dignity and kindness and love. And everybody can become a Buddha.
Nothing wrong with that. I have the same beliefs. I just don't call myself a Buddhist. But yeah, I completely agree with what the context of that is.
Mm-hmm. And we chant. That is our basic thing that we do. We chant and we recite a couple passages of the Lotus Sutra will we chant. We do that twice a day, usually in the morning and in the evening. Or when we just feel like it, we can chant. It's Nam Myoho Renge Kyo is the chant that we recite. I could go into detail about what it's about. Look that up.
Right. What is that? What is that supposed to do for you by doing those chants? What is it supposed to help you with?
It brings out the inner power. See, we don't believe in like an external God. We believe in an internal force. There's a force within yourself, and you're bringing out that inner strength, that inner power within yourself. You're bringing that forward. You're not relying on something external.
Okay. So what are your thoughts about afterlife? Like, you go through this, you become a good person, you're living life this way, you're tapping into that internal force.
We believe.
How does it work for the afterlife?
We believe in karma. So what you do comes back to you. So if you're a good person, good things come back to you. If you're a bad person, bad things obviously will happen to you. Karma is what you strive through in your life. You want to get rid of your bad karma. Reincarnation is part of kind of the Buddhist belief a little bit. I don't necessarily believe that you're reincarnated into another being, another person. I believe that when you die, you kind of just become part of the universe. Your electrons, protons, neutrons, your essence that is there just becomes part of the world. Your energy becomes part of the world around you. It escapes you and becomes part of the world.
No, we kind of believe a little bit the same way. That way, I believe that, you know, when I die, I go back into the ground, and what dies springs forth life. So I kind of believe that as well, is that when I die and I go in the ground, it'll spring forth life, and hopefully from the life I've lived, what I've done, talking about karma, what I've done in my life will be passed forward and be passed on to other generations and maybe be of help. So, yeah, I can definitely feel you on that. Do you feel like you've had multiple lives?
You know, I don't know. Sometimes I feel like I'm being punished. Sometimes I feel like I'm being punished for something I did in the past, but maybe it's such a hard thing, you know. I don't know what's
you need to forgive yourself. You need to forgive yourself.
Yeah.
All right, so we got through that. You said you wanted to talk about the state of the union and the way things are going. Where do you want to go with
good
that?
Lord. Oh, good Lord. We are in trouble. Either way, we are in trouble. Like, my mom called me the other day, and she was just on a tirade about Trump, and I couldn't follow her train of thought. She was going from one to the other. She had been watching MSNBC all day long. And she was regurgitating this and that and this and that. She was going from one point A to point C to point Z.
All fake news. All fake news.
All fake news. I mean, all news is pretty fake. I mean,
it don't matter whether it's left side or right side, whether it's Fox News or MSNBC, CNN. It's all fake news.
It's all about money there too. I mean, all these news
it's all paid
organizations
for.
are all paid for.
They all pay. Yeah,
all
the people on the
controlled.
outside pay for it, and it goes in the direction of whatever they want it to go to feed whatever needs they have. Right.
We need another Walter Cronkite in this world.
True. I like Dan Rather too.
Dan
Rather was good. I like. Yeah, Peter Jennings was pretty good.
Mm-hmm.
And then you gotta love Tom. You gotta love Tom Brokaw and his voice. That Tom Brokaw voice was classic.
We need somebody that can sit down in front of a camera and tell us what this country is really about, and be honest. And
well, I think it all comes back. That we live in a fear base. Okay, we live in a fear-based world.
We do.
And so a lot of the decisions that are being made, you look at the news today, the medias and social media and everything is about fear, and it's what drives these organizations and the money and all that. It gets driven by that fear. If there was no fear, then we wouldn't have some of the issues or some of the things that, like you said, this whole thing with COVID and them building a building for the dead bodies here in Minnesota, we wouldn't have that drive unless there was that worry of in New York when they were putting bodies in trucks that were not refrigerated.
Yeah.
And all that when that happened a few months ago. Without that story and that fear of that could be possibly happening, we wouldn't have this $1 million, whatever it is, building that's going into place in Minnesota, because we don't want that to happen here.
Yeah.
So that fear just drives the world to just keep moving.
And it keeps you, in order to keep your mind off the fear, you turn to your iPhones and your Nintendo NES and your Xbox One, and
becomes a distraction.
it becomes a
You have to distract yourself.
Yep.
Yeah, so you have to distract yourself with music, YouTube, Netflix, video games, whatever it is. I'm grateful for that. As today, I mean, I used to play video games constantly. I don't do it as much anymore. I still play them, but I'm so focused in the podcasting and doing what I need to do with this and doing investigation into different topics that I'm going to be talking about. That I enjoy. Right. I enjoy not having to be distracted all the time, and that the distractions I have now are actually fruitful. They're meaningful, purpose.
Speaking the truth, buddy.
I'm trying to. So they want me back on Discord. I'm gonna have to definitely. What are they saying?
Well, they're searching for content. They're falling apart at the heels, so they're looking for somebody to go on there that can host a show, so to speak, that is not based on drugs and alcohol and mumbo jumbo and rambling around. They want something with content, so they're looking for.
All right. Well, let them know that this next week I'll get everything set up and look into that and come up with some material, and I'll go on there and get something set up for that.
Cool.
Let them know that. I'm going to expand. I'll expand out and then maybe come on to one of your guys' Discords and discuss it and advertise it and let them know I'm coming back. I'll make my grand entrance back. But yeah, I can help out with that if that's what they're wanting. I think with this, it was a lot of me getting comfortable in doing this and getting an idea of how this is going to work and getting comfortable with my style. now I have that. And so, yeah, I have no problem going into a different platform and doing that as well. It's nothing wrong with expanding the name, right, JR? Yeah. So, I mean, yeah, definitely let them know I'll be back.
So how's everything else going with you? How's sobriety? Must be going good.
6 months today, my friend.
You're killing it. You're killing it.
Yep, 6 months today.
Congratulations.
Big smackaroo.
Yeah, thanks. I do have a little thing that's kind of a hiccup, though. I got a bill in the mail from the hospital or the doctor the other day. I guess
Yeah.
Health Partners is only paying a certain amount of my Vivitrol shot now, so I owe like over $2,000 to the hospital for it. So it looks
those
like I
fuckers.
might have to get off the Vivitrol.
Oh.
Yeah, I might have to get off the Vivitrol.
Oh.
It's always something.
Oh.
Yeah, it's discouraging, but I'll
Talk to
just
you
go
about
on the
insurance
naltrexone
issues,
pills.
'cause I don't know if I can maybe talk privately about your insurance at some point here and see if I can't get you on what I got on, because I just got reinstated for.
Well, I'm through the state of Minnesota. Yeah, I'm through the state of Minnesota, and so it's always covered everything. And now all of a sudden, I don't know if they raised the price on it or what, but it shows on the bill that it's now $2,600 for the shot, and it's $1,800 is what they cover or whatever, and so it's adding, or $1,400, something like that, is what the insurance is covering, and then the rest is my responsibility. So I don't know if Health Partners has gotten that wrong or the hospital is charging it wrong. I'm going to talk to them. I have an appointment upcoming on Friday to get another shot. Of course, I'm not going to say anything to them until I get my shot.
Right.
Once I get my shot, give me at least another month before maybe I have to go to the pills. But hopefully, so I'll have 7 months sober with the shots, and then I'll worry about the bill after that. But yeah, I really don't want to come off Vivitrol. It's not that I think I would use. I'm pretty sure I wouldn't. It's just it works so well. It works so well. I don't want to stop using it. It's such a nice, fit for me. But if I have to, I'll probably go back to naltrexone. I'll have to raise the dosage on that because my body wasn't absorbing all of it with my gastric bypass. It wasn't absorbing the full amount of it, so they're going to have to hit with a higher dose for my body to absorb the needed milligrams to do what it needs to do. So that's kind of where I'm at today. Everything else is going good. Job is going amazing. We've had some people leave, so I'm just moving further and further up the ladder for seniority. And I'm definitely in a spot now that even though I do my job, I don't have to worry about it, but I'm in a spot where they need me. So it's kind of nice having job security. It's kind of nice having the podcasting I'm doing along it. I'm actually... JR has decided to bring me on for 10 hours a week.
Nice.
Getting paid, dealing with networking and editing and other things like that. Got the whole title of the creative writer. I'm going to deal with some copywriting eventually as well. Podcasting, and then the editing, the audio editing. So
nice.
I appreciate JR for bringing me on. Hopefully down the road, it'll be a full-time gig.
That's pretty cool.
I would love to be able to come here and work with JR. I would love to be able to come in here and work with JR every day and do this as a full-time gig and expand our business.
Yeah.
So,
I think
that's kind of the avenue that we're going down.
I'm going to do, for mortuary science here in Minnesota, it's a bachelor's degree. It's a 4-year degree. So you need a bachelor's degree or the equivalent of. Well, I'm going to school in Iowa, and that's only going to be the associate's degree, so I need the equivalent of. So I need to get all these extra. I have a bunch of credits, but I'm going to need to fill in some more. So I'm going to do a bunch of audio.
Where would you transfer up here for that?
What's that?
Would you have to transfer to a school up here, or would you continue it down there?
Transfer to North Hennepin Technical College.
And
maybe I don't know if they're going to offer the program that I want, though, because I was just thinking the other day of taking, this is where my thought is going here, is taking audiovisual television production, because everything now, because of COVID, and a lot of funeral homes have started doing a lot of Zoom type productions and whatnot with funerals, and learning the audio and the video production aspect of that so that I can use that in the funeral home industry for broadcasting funerals in my job. And I can get some credit that way to kind of fill in for what's missing. They can be any kind of credits. They don't have to be credits in the mortuary field. They can be credits in music, arts, sciences.
Are they doing COVID funerals that way, to where you can actually have a funeral online to where you don't have to be in attendance?
We're doing all our funerals are 50% capacity, so we hold 120 in our chapel, so we do 60 people. And then everything is it's going out on Zoom. Zoom is what we're using. Nice. So learning
what would we do Zoom. What would we do without the technology that we have? I mean, it's crazy what we're able to do nowadays. Like even this, like I have Zoom Premium, so like right now our conversation, this video, everything is being recorded. So that way I can take it, put it on Facebook. I can extract and convert the audio from this so I can put it on my podcast. I mean, what would we do without some of this stuff? It's amazing how back in the day we had nothing of this.
I know.
You know, it's so nice.
Technology has gone and I did AV TV production back in 1993 and 94. I worked with public broadcasting in our neighborhood, and then I did the classes in school for it. I went to technical college for it as part of high school and got some credits. And things have changed so much.
Yeah, I was always in AV class when I was in school. You know, high school and junior high, I was always in the AV class. Push around the TVs on the carts, and have VCRs for the teachers to be able to use in the classrooms and stuff like that. And then being able to, I mean, you remember when public broadcasting was a joke? You know, people would make fun of it, like, you know, it's not real TV and all that. Now look at all the stuff we do now. It's crazy.
Broadcasting yourself has become the mainstream. I mean, that's where we get most of our information now most of the best information now comes from people themselves rather than the news, in my opinion. Right.
Well, just so you know, my mother...
Look at Unicorn Riot, for crying out loud.
Yeah, Unicorn Riot is amazing. I will watch him all the time about stuff. So anytime he comes on, I usually go on for a good 20, 30 minutes seeing what he's up to. He's been amazing, been doing it for the last few years, hitting all the protests and the important stuff that the news is not going to report to you.
Yep.
So it's good stuff. I remember him doing it during the riots, and I got so much information from that. It was great. It was amazing. Yep. My mom's going to be coming on here shortly.
Oh, fun.
Trying to get her into the room right now. She's joining up right now. So we'll have her come on with us and have a chat with her as well. This is cool. I had a feeling she might come on. I just didn't know if she was busy. You know, it's a Sunday when you're dealing with church and everything like that. So I didn't know if they had something going on. Sometimes they have, fellowship dinners after church and get-togethers and stuff. So I never knew if she's going to be available.
I know. I was thinking about that the other day. I was at one of the mega churches. It's not a mega church, but it's one of our bigger churches here in the Twin Cities area. I won't say which one it is, but
don't make me put them on blast.
A lot of youth, a lot of interest, a lot of hype, a lot of big auditorium, big band, big stage, big lighting, big production, big everything. But I mean, you walk in, they got a Dunn Brothers coffee area where you can get donuts and coffee. I mean, it's all set up with cash registers and everything, and right there in the foyer when you walk in, I mean, you can get coffee and donuts right in there. There's a little shop like right there, just set up really great. But I was
Yeah,
just thinking about the
we've got a
camaraderie,
church.
the community that you get with the church is the one thing that I'm jealous about. It makes me jealous. It makes me want to join a church for the camaraderie.
But that's the whole ploy. That's their whole ploy, though.
know.
That's how they get you in the door.
I know.
Like even the other day, we've got a church right up the street from the sober living home, the River Church, and they have a coffee shop that's built right into it. And during church services, they have a coffee house in there. So I wanted coffee this morning, and as I was going to the bus stop to come down here to the studio, their coffee shop was open because it's in the middle of the service. I almost went in there to get a coffee.
Yeah.
Even as an atheist, I almost got drawn in just to get that coffee, but I ended up coming down to the west side and going to the place I like to go here to get it. But they do. They are doing everything. I mean, look at the way the children's programs are built today. It used to be children's church was just you're in a room, where a teacher, a Sunday school teacher, would just sit there and teach you as the adults were having their normal service. Now they have all these different programs and videos and music, and I mean it's anything to draw the kids in. And it's like, if we get the kids, we'll get the parents. So they go after the kids, especially in that 10 to 14 age bracket. Try to bring them in and indoctrinate them to go home and talk about it and try to pull the parents in. So it's unbelievable how they have that pull like that.
Raising that rainbow flag out front too. It's a nice little draw for the gay crowd.
Well, and that's just it. Do you know how many churches I see now where they have an advertisement on the outside now? I know there's one in Richfield, in Minneapolis, where they're like, the gays are welcome, or LGBT, friendly. They're advertising this stuff to bring it in, even though when you really get down to the nitty-gritty part of it, their doctrine says it's wrong. So it's just interesting to me how they're changing things just to pull people in. And the reason why is over the last decade, their numbers have decreased.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
They've been going down. Christianity has been going down in numbers, especially now that more and more religions are coming out and more people are turning over to spirituality like Buddhism, Hinduism, and other religions. They're losing membership. And so they're doing whatever they can to try to pull people in to keep their numbers up.
Yeah. And it's going to continue to be like that because, unfortunately, their book can't be rewritten. I mean, it can be rewritten, but it can't be changed. It can't be.
How can it be rewritten? It's the perfect word of God. Well, it's the perfect word of God. It's not supposed to be.
Yeah.
Even though Sam Harris, one of the best atheists out there, says that we could take any horrible section of the Bible, delete that section, and write our own humanistic ways today and put it in there, and it already makes the Bible better.
Yeah.
So I mean,
they're kind of they're stuck. They're stuck is what the problem is. They're stuck and kind of
right. They're stuck and they can't make change because you can't change where it says, let no man lay it down with another man as a man would lay down with a woman, because it's an abomination against God. You can't change that text. That's the way it is. Even though the Christians have taken that out of context, the true context of that scripture was saying that Jews, through Jewish law, you should not do jobs that a woman does. You shouldn't act or be treated like a woman. So in other words, if you're in a relationship with a woman, you shouldn't be dominated by her. That was the context of why they put that scripture in there. But they take it as automatically that's the scripture they throw out saying homosexuality is wrong.
Yeah. See,
it's just, again, go ahead.
We don't have any clergy or lay people. We have a president that kind of writes. I mean, he sends out monthly newsletters with words of encouragement in them, like every month, and they're just great. There's nothing in them about thou shalt not lay with another man. Da 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 da.
Well, it's Buddhism. So, I mean, they're not going to look at it the same way.
An opportunity to strengthen our lives. There's just really great little articles in here. I mean, it's wonderful reading. The wisdom for creating happiness and peace. Talking about, mentor and disciple, like just all kinds of great little being Bodhisattvas of the earth, how to go forth and just be great people to everybody around you and treat everybody with love, kindness, and respect. That's all it's about, I love when I walked into the doors of our center. Obviously, we don't do it anymore because of COVID. We have Zoom. And it's the same thing on Zoom. I love going onto Zoom and seeing this, but seeing it in person is even cooler. But you walk into the doors of the Buddhist Center, and you see all these different people, black, white, Hispanic, Asian, just all these different varieties of people. Some people can barely even speak English, and they're there.
Right.
Gay, straight, doesn't matter. All different ages matter. Everybody under one roof, all there just chanting, wanting peace and love for one another. Not a malice bone in anybody's body. Hopefully. I mean, we all have flaws, but that's what we're there for. We're striving to overcome them.
Yeah. We're human. We're not perfect. We're going to have, like yesterday, I'll be honest with you, tell a little story. I went into Starbucks to get a coffee yesterday morning. I already had kind of an attitude, but I just wanted to do my thing today. And yesterday. So I go into Starbucks. I've got this lady in front of me with her two kids, and they're just, well, what do you want, kids? And she's just taking forever. I mean, it's like, don't stand at the front of the line if you're going to sit there for 15 minutes and keep people behind you waiting. I got things to do. I got 10 minutes, and I got to hit the bus to get to where I got to go. So I'm sitting there waiting, and my mask was itching my nose. I happened to drop my mask down below my nose, and I look up at the register guy, and he's like, oh, yeah, goes like this to me. And it's like, dude, really? It's this whole mask thing is driving me nuts. I'm not killing anybody because I have it down underneath my nose to itch my nose. Okay.
Right.
So finally,
talk about ego, people controlling everyone.
Well, he was completely controlling. Completely controlling. So I'm looking at this lady. She turns to me and says, hey, if you want to go in front of me, go ahead. So she had already given me permission. I go up to the front and I say, yeah, I'll take a venti caramel macchiato. Oh, they're in front of you. I'm like, no, they told me I can go for, well, I didn't hear them, so they're in front of you. I'm like, why are you being a douche? That's how I said it. The manager goes off, you don't get to talk to him that way. And I says, yeah, and he doesn't get to treat me the way he's treating me either. I'm a customer. Do you want my money or not?
Oh.
It's enough that you're sitting there getting upset with me about my mask and everything. I looked at him, I says, who are you? You are not in charge. You either take my fucking order or I'm leaving. Manager's like, you can leave. I says, you know what? That's fine. I'll leave, and I won't be coming in here again. People walk around with this ego and this attitude like they're in charge of everything. All I wanted was a frickin' coffee, okay?
You know what? I blame that
All
on
I
the
wanted
internet.
to do was go.
in the comment sections on the internet.
Well, right. I look at the I look at the show Seinfeld where it's like no soup for you, the soup Nazi.
Yeah.
I just was like working my way up to the line, ordering my coffee, getting it, and going. That's all I wanted to do. But continue with your thought.
Ever since we've gotten these comment warriors, you know, that developed over the years on the internet, these ghosted comment warriors they're starting to come out in real life, in the real world. They're starting to actually get the gumption in the what now to show their true colors in the real world now too. They're thinking, I can get away with my little comments and my little snickery on the internet. I can do it in the real world too. I can be a jerk on the internet. I can be a jerk in real life too.
Right. And so I'm just sitting there looking at this guy. It's like, is he thinking I'm some bum or some guy off the street or what? It's like, why are you treating me this way for no reason at all? She already told me I could go, and you're treating me like I skipped her in line or something like that. And then the whole mask thing. I am so sick of the mask thing. I was at the bus stop the other day, leaving work to go home, and my mask is down around my neck, and I'm 15 feet away from the bus stop, and I'm smoking on my vape and everything. And this old man goes by and gives me a call. Sorry, you should be wearing your mask. I'm like, no, I don't have to wear my mask. I'm not inside. I'm not in a public place. You need to stay 6 feet away from me, sir. That's what you need to do. I don't have to wear this constantly when I'm out in public, outside. You don't get to have the right to decide for me what I can wear and what I can't, when I do it, when I can't. You need to shut your mouth and keep walking. That's what I said to him. And he did. He kept walking. I am tired of people thinking that they can enforce whatever rules or whatever beliefs they have on you, and you're just supposed to abide to it. Not happening. Not happening. I will do what I feel is right in my life and my reality, and you'll get to decide that. So it's this whole world that we're living in today in 2020 is ridiculous. How people think, you know, you see these social media videos where people, these Karens and these people in these stores that are spitting on people or going in and refusing to wear a mask, and the cops are being called on them and all this stuff, yelling at people and everything. It's ridiculous. It is unnecessary, and I want it all to stop. Just give it up already.
Yeah. I don't know. I
didn't have to, I was just going to say, if I didn't have to wear a mask, I wouldn't wear it.
Yeah.
I'm just being honest. We're talking about something that's killing 1% of the population, and like, you know, breathing the air that's
I don't even think
around
it's
us
killing
is gonna
1%
give us
of the
AIDS
population
or something.
I
don't think it
is
is either. So
I think, I mean, if you consider it
I think this is
an underlying contributing factor, like what it is killing less than 1% of our population.
It's a hopped up fear complex that's being brought to our country to scare people and to keep them at home and keep them in line. That's the way I'm not saying it's a hoax. It's real. It is going on. The mask definitely help in the 6 feet distancing. I get it.
To control.
But it's like we're being controlled. Correct. Have you seen anything like that? I mean, you're down in St. Paul. We're small time up here. I'm sure down there with all the people that are around you. I mean, what are you seeing down there?
It's there's the conformists and the nonconformists, and I don't really go out that much, to be honest. Like I just stay inside, mind my own damn business is what it makes me do. That's what it's making me do. It's causing me to be a complete hermit.
Yeah. Right. You just don't even want to deal with it.
It makes me want to avoid all situations and circumstances, and see it out my window. Like, there's groups of people that just completely are like, they don't even care. I see it on the corners with certain individuals that don't care. They're in each other's faces, not wearing masks. There's groups of them, and then I see people that walk down the street, and there's nobody around them even, and they're wearing a mask.
Well, did you see
haven't
the
seen any
news report
fighting.
on Minneapolis? The University of Minnesota, they're all coming back to school right now. And so this weekend was the first weekend that a lot of them are back in school or back to the dorms. And the bars down there are literally lined out the door. No masks, no nothing. It's just a free-for-all.
Oh, Lord. Hi, Rhonda.
Hi.
How are you?
Okay.
Hey, Mom. How you doing?
I'm doing okay. I was just checking to see if you had anybody on. I'll get off, but I didn't know if it was.
No, stay on.
Welcome to stay.
I didn't know if it was like that
yeah, stay on,
Sunday
Mom.
when nobody checked in. So.
Stay on, please.
Well, me and Aaron are just having a discussion. What are your thoughts on this whole mask thing? We were just talking about it. The last couple of days I've gotten ridiculed in a few different things, and this people's attitudes about it is just ridiculous. That it's almost like we're gonna die if we happen to not wear the mask for one minute.
Yeah, I heard what you were saying. I've not experienced that, but I was just in the store and I'm getting tired. They're hot. Can't hardly breathe with them on. I'm getting tired of it, but they say, I don't know, is Minnesota to where you don't have to wear them out in public? The way you were talking, Dale, you were telling that man you didn't have to wear it out in public, do you?
Well, when you're outside, like waiting at a bus stop, as long as you're keeping 6 feet away from them. Yeah, as long as you're keeping 6 feet away from them and you're in open air, no, you don't have to wear it. People jog and walk their dogs and don't wear any masks. It's when you're going into public places like Walmarts, things like that. And what really pisses me off is they make you do that, but if you're eating in a restaurant or a bar, you don't have to wear it. It makes absolutely no sense to me. Like I said, University of Minnesota students came back this weekend, and they showed in the news all the bars down there, all the college students are going there, and they're not wearing masks or anything because they don't have to in a bar. How is that going to help not spread COVID?
Yeah.
And we're talking about a disease. We're talking about a virus that is killing 1% at the most, maybe even less. And we're acting like this is a thing. I don't know. I'm at the point where I'm done with it. I'm done with this whole mask thing. If I'm going to get it, I'm going to get it. We need to get back to life.
Yeah. I think the point is... Go ahead, Rhonda.
You're forced to wear it, though, on your bus rides and stuff, right now?
Correct.
Yeah.
I think the thing is it's not if you're going to get it, it's when you're going to get it. Like,
correct.
I think everybody's going to wind up getting it at some point. Like, I really do. Like, I think we're all going to get it at some point before we get a vaccine. I think the majority of
if we haven't already had it,
are going to get it.
Yeah. Well, they say the numbers are inflated now. They're saying on the news that the numbers are inflated as far as who's had it, who's died with it.
Mm-hmm.
So me and Aaron were talking.
Like the flu.
Well, me and Aaron were talking about it at the big. I was going to say me and Aaron have been talking about it at the beginning of the show because he deals with the funeral home and deaths that are coming in. He's had to be 5 or 6 from COVID. But yeah, what's happening now is we're starting to realize that the numbers are inflated because these people are dying from other causes. And when they're tested, they find out they had COVID too. And instead of giving them the actual death of what they died from, they're just adding COVID as the death. So it's raising it up. It's a fear-based that way. It causes money to be involved with it, that we've got to do all this stuff and keep the money budget going to try to help this virus and fix it. when the truth is they died of pneumonia or they died of a heart attack, but they
Yeah.
just so happened when they died, they tested COVID. And so instead of them dying of a heart attack being the official, they're making it COVID-19.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. And they're putting it on there so they can get the money for it from the state.
Right.
or
And
the
so
government,
my
whichever-
hospital, I
whoever's
go
paying
through,
it out. Somebody's paying it out.
right. The hospital I go through, the Duluth Family Medicine, I talked with the doctor, my primary doctor and my primary nurse about it. They haven't had one case of COVID come through their doors. Not one. And the hospitals here, Essentia, St. Mary's, St. Luke's, the hospitals here have been at the most half full when it comes to their
Mhm.
beds. It is not as big of a pandemic as media is trying to make it. And again,
Yeah.
it all comes down to fear base. That's what the media is going to do. They're going to drive the fear. That's what makes them powerful. That's what makes them in the position that they are. We need to stop listening to everything that we hear on the news.
Well, your dad was saying that Indiana here is going to be 100% in the restaurants and stuff, and that I think the masks are going to go, but I don't know when that's going to be. But in the near
Great.
future.
That's great. Let's get back to living again. In fact, Biden he's actually advertising that. He's advertising that, Trump shut down the country. That's why we don't have sports. That's why we don't have festivals. That's why we don't have things in this country that make this country the great country that it is. I think it's time. We need to move on.
Well,
We need
Thursday
to
night
get back working again.
I think Thursday night is the first game for NFL. Right?
Yep, it is. And then, yep. Vikings, Packers on Sunday. Me, JR, and his brother are going to definitely be watching that. I'll have my Packers stuff on. He'll have his Viking stuff on, I'm sure. Nah, we'll be 1-0, not you. We'll be 1-0. Anyway, so it's it's good to see that. It's good to see baseball back. It's good to see the sports back. But we need to get other stuff back. We need to get festivals, community stuff back. It's all about being smart.
We need theaters
Okay, and-
open. We need museums
Culture.
open. We need the state fair was a big thing that closed that sucked. The Renaissance Festival. Come on, Dow.
Oh,
The
yeah.
Renaissance Festival. Oh, buddy.
That's
a
our
bummer.
that's our place, baby.
Yeah.
Renaissance Festival. That's you and me, and that's where we love to be.
Mm-hmm.
Will they have it?
I don't know. I haven't heard an official word on whether or not they are closing for the year because it's coming up.
Mm-hmm.
So I haven't heard.
Yeah, maybe I can come down. Remember, I told you I was going to come down. If they are having it, maybe I can come down that weekend and we can go out there for one of the days and I'll wear my kilt again and just have some fun with that.
Yeah. Yeah. The festival is canceled for 2020. Yep.
Damn.
So they are doing, but they're preparing for 2021.
It just feels like we're being controlled, that we're just being forced to have to be in our homes, forced to, where they know where everybody's at, and it's like they don't have enough dealing with our phones and GPS and everything to know and track us and know where we're at. They want to keep us at home and keep us locked away, and I don't know. It's time for us to get back to regular life again. This has been going on since what, March?
Yeah.
It's time. It's time to be moving forward.
They
How's
had
it
the
going with that? Did you have a
Kentucky
state?
Derby yesterday? Did
Right?
you hear what I said?
Yeah, about the Derby. Yeah, it was.
Yeah.
I'm happy they did that. But again, that's Kentucky.
And it
Kentucky's different than Minnesota.
Well, and they had limited spectators, limited amount
Yeah.
of people that could be there.
Certain capacity.
Yeah.
Did you have a state fair in Indiana or one in Kentucky?
I'm thinking Kentucky State Fair. Did they have it?
Yeah, they had it, but it was virtual.
It was a virtual, however you do that.
How boring is that? A
Yeah.
virtual state fair.
When are we supposed
What
to?
a
They
joke
showed
that
pictures
is.
of what the exhibits might be.
They showed pictures of the exhibit.
Oh, they
Oh, my
showed
goodness.
pictures of the exhibits.
All right, now when is the mask supposed to come off in Indiana? You were saying that we're going to be
Well,
100%.
September 11th it's supposed to, but he's going to extend it now a little bit.
Oh, it was going to be September 11th, but he's extending it a little longer. Oh, Dell was complaining about the mask, so he's getting tired of it.
I am too.
Everybody is, yeah.
So let me ask this. Let me change the direction a little bit. When is the first debate?
The first what?
Debate. Can you look that up for me, Aaron?
Oh,
The first
yeah, I'll look that
presidential
up.
debate.
I'll look that up really quick.
He's
Give me
on
just
up.
a second.
Yeah, Aaron's doing all my computer work for me. Yeah,
Nice.
look up and see when the first debates are.
He's not pictured on here, but he's there. Aaron from Minneapolis is on.
You can have them on there with you, Mom. You just have to
September
scroll
29th
across the
at
screen.
8 p.m. CDT.
Which one? What date?
September 29th at 8 p.m.
All right, so the end of the month. Okay. September 29th.
First one.
Definitely going to have to watch that. That's going to be some interesting stuff. To see if Trump gets Biden worked up, because Biden's the kind of guy that if Trump sits there and tries to get him all riled up,
I think he's gonna smoke him in the debate.
you think Biden is or Trump?
Trump.
You think Trump's going to hurt him in the debate? Well, I have to see. The one I'm really interested in is Kamala versus Mike Pence.
Yes, I think
That's
that'll be
the
a
one.
very good debate. That'll be a very. She makes people cry.
Because Mike Pence is all about, fuck the gays, all against, a lot of civil rights, it seems like to me. He's very much against a lot of stuff that is so right-wing, it's not even funny. Like, people
He's
have said, I
the
hope
man
Trump gets
that if-
knocked out of presidency. I'm like, hell no. I want Mike Pence as my president. If Trump got knocked out of there, hell no. So,
Yeah,
yeah, I think Kamala's a black woman. Yeah. Liberal black woman going after Mike Pence. Oh, that's going to be some fireworks.
some fireworks. That'll be a good debate. I'll definitely be watching that one. I'll be watching the presidential
Without a
debate
doubt.
too, because I think that'll be great. Like, I think Biden will probably be calling out all of Trump's little lies. Like, that's not true, Mr. President. That's not true, Mr. President. That's not true, Mr. President. That's probably all he's going to be saying all night long. Is that's not true, Mr. President.
Mhm. Well, the thing is with the whole Trump issue, you remember when Trump was running against Hillary, it was all that Trump can't win. Hillary's going to win. Well, this time around, all I'm saying is Trump can't lose. Trump can't lose in a lot of media. And so I look at that as going, okay, the tables are going to turn.
Mm-hmm.
He's getting so much negativity right now. You've got a bunch of Republicans that are coming out, that are switching base, Republican politicians that are saying they're voting for Biden. Things are changing and turning on him, and this corona thing did not help him whatsoever.
No.
So I think it will be close, but all it takes is one state in the South where the black population turns out.
Mm-hmm.
All it takes is one state in the South, in the red, to go blue, and it's going to change. It's going to mess up everything for Trump.
Yeah.
So I just have a feeling one of the states down there, it's going to happen. It's going to happen. And I think that's why Trump is trying to doesn't want the absentee ballot stuff, because if that happens, more blacks will vote.
Yep. Messing with our mail. I can't believe
Yeah,
he's
more blacks.
openly doing that and getting away with it, and nobody's saying anything.
Well, did you hear him saying in the news that he wants right-wing voters to try to illegally vote twice?
Oh, I believe
He
that.
wants them to do the absentee ballot and then go in and vote in person. He said it 3 times now publicly.
But wasn't
And
he
that's
joking?
okay. That's even
Wasn't
with
he
him,
joking
that
about
might
it?
he really, with him, there is no joking. He says that stuff, but there's truth behind it.
Yeah, he says it jokingly, but none of his base takes it as a joke. They listen to him
Exactly.
like it's gospel, and they hear it, and they
Like
don't
the
hear
joke
the
about
they hear it, and they hear
the
that's
joke
what I gotta
about
do.
injecting. Well, there was the joke about injecting bleach. The joke about taking that fish for aquariums as a way to try to fight corona, and people started injecting bleach. He came out and said that, yeah, he came out and said that if there's a way for us to get disinfectant inside of our bodies, it would cure corona. And people started doing it because he said it. He doesn't realize the power he has with his words. And saying that stuff is not right for a president to be doing that. It's not.
Yeah, even
you
if
look
he's
at the
joking, he shouldn't be talking about it.
Thank you. Now, obviously, Aaron, just so you know, my mom, she's a Trump supporter.
I don't agree with everything he does or says. I wish he'd quit tweeting and all that. We've never had a president that did all that.
He instigates.
Well, Obama tweeted quite a bit, but he didn't tweet. He certainly didn't tweet at 3-4 o'clock in the morning, and he certainly didn't tweet half the garbage that Trump tweets. But
Bullshit.
He tweeted.
I just don't ever hear the media talking about Obama tweeting like Trump is.
Yeah.
Because it was nothing controversial that he was tweeting.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, it was nothing that would cause any rifts that way.
Yeah.
But you look at the Republican National Convention, his last speech that he did was very much, he stayed to the script. He did not, when the speech he made to end the convention was very much to the script. No outlandish sayings or comments did he make, because he knows if he continues to do that, it's going to push the voters away. He needs to get serious. He jokes around and acts a fool way too much that way. They want to know what is going to happen to make this country back to the way it was before all this happened.
Mm-hmm.
No more jokes.
He would win hands down
and
if it
Biden
wasn't for his mouth.
If it wasn't for whom?
His mouth.
Oh, yeah.
Exactly. So let's get off the politics. So what's going on in your life right now, Mom and Dad? How's things going with you? Anything interesting?
Packers next Sunday.
Yeah, we've already talked about that.
Chili cheese dogs.
Chili cheese dogs sound good to me.
And nachos.
So you gonna?
That's always our famous opening game.
Are you gonna mail that to me? Are you gonna mail it to me? You better make sure you get it to me before the game starts, so I have it.
Yeah. Where are you going to watch it? Will you
We're
be
gonna
watching?
watch it at the house. We're gonna watch it at the house. We'll probably have JR over. We'll cook something. We'll eat something. But yeah, me and Isaac plan on watching it at the house. So.
Okay.
Yeah, I can't wait. It's time for football to start.
So other than that, there's nothing else going on.
So today, Mom, I did a podcast. I did a podcast today with JR that I think you will love to listen to. It's about Mormonism. I went into all the details about Mormonism and what they believe in and behind the scenes of it and what it is. It really turned out well.
I seen it on
good.
your Facebook page. Yeah.
Say, Dale, I've got a new subject for you
Yeah.
to think about. I have a new subject for you.
What's that?
Maybe on a podcast you could address the issue of why do I vote? Why does one vote?
That's a good one.
And whether or not it's unpatriotic if you don't vote.
One way or the other.
Yeah, but the electoral college is what carries everything. So,
Which needs to be abolished, by the way.
yeah.
Correct.
like- Does our
I
vote
mean, you
even
look at
count?
you look at the last election. Hillary won the popular vote, but Trump still won.
Yeah, exactly.
So
Which
you would
means
go off
Which
popular
means
vote.
Hillary
with
would have been in
college.
office. Oh.
But that would be a good subject. What makes one vote? What makes one go to
Okay.
vote?
Trying to get their
Okay,
man.
I will take that. I will take that. That definitely would be a topic for me and JR to talk about why people vote. Why should we vote? I think that would definitely be a good one because we hear all the time that, if you don't vote, you're wasting your vote and it's unpatriotic that you're
Exactly.
supposed to vote.
Exactly.
You're like it's one of those social norms that way that if you don't do it, people hate you for not doing it.
So do you go to the
So-
polls and vote every year?
I haven't voted in 5 years since I moved
I
away from
haven't either.
Minnesota. I'm
I haven't
going
voted since
to
Jesse Ventura.
Really?
I'm going to get my state ID because I am going to vote this year. So here next month, I'm going to get my state ID set up for this. Now that I got mail and stuff showing proof of where I'm at. So I'm going to get a state ID set up so that way I can register. I am going to vote this time, and it is Biden all the way.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah.
I've voted every year since I've been 18. I've voted in every election.
So you feel it's your responsibility.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
It was taught by my mom, and in school. Like in school, we always had mock votes. Like they'd have
Yeah.
mock elections, and they taught us in school that it was our civil duty and our responsibility. And my mom always taught me it was my responsibility as an American, and it was my right. And people died for my right to vote. People, I mean, that's your privilege in this
Yeah.
country.
Yeah, I remember.
Yeah.
I remember in school them teaching me the same thing. I remember that in school. But that's going to be another podcast that me and JR eventually will do. Is going to be on social norms. We were talking about it today. You get out of high school. What's the first thing people say to you? Well, where are you going to go to school for college?
Mhm.
Yeah.
You get married. The minute you get married, well, when you're going to try to have kids. When are you going to have kids?
Yeah.
Mhm.
There's just certain norms society has that you're doing this, then you should do this with it. And you're like, it's just accepted as that's what you should do rather than make up your own mind what you want to do with it. So we'll get into that eventually. But all right. Well, I've been on for over an hour. I'm going to go ahead and cut this off.
Okay. Good to see ya.
Aaron, well, let me close it out. Don't leave just yet. Thank you, Aaron, for coming on SuperTramp. I appreciate you coming on to the show today and doing this with me, and look for this on my podcast and on Facebook and YouTube. And Mom, Adam's good seeing you as well.
Yeah, good to see you.
So I love you all. I love everybody. I love everyone in my audience as well. This is the Recovery Atheist signing off, and I'm hoping everybody has a wonderful rest of the Sunday, and I will see all of you soon. You take care, guys. All right, I'll see you in a bit.
Okay.
Adios.
All right, bye-bye.
Bye.